Who do you make favourites in Dublin?
Oh, I still fancy our chances. I think our record over the last 11 or 12 games speaks for itself.
With each passing year, this record becomes a weight on the shoulder. How much longer can this go on for?
I know. Well, they talked themselves up back in the 2023 World Cup. We put out our best side against them and blew them away. They've had lots of opportunities. You think back to when we had the injury crisis, the red card, still found a way to beat them in Murrayfield. And I think that when the Scots get confident, that's when they're their own worst enemy. But to give them credit,
do you not think this is different though? Like
it does feel different. Yeah.
If they had not messed up in Rome,
yeah,
they're coming to Dublin for a Grand Slam. So to beat England, I appreciate England are maybe not what they were, but to beat England, to see it out against the Welsh, that was a sticky spot. And look what they've done today. Are we talking about the same Scotland here? Is something brewing?
No, it certainly was. And if you look at the strategy, Andrew touched on it. Their kick strategy today, they didn't give the French any access. Their breakdown work, they're the two areas that the French thrive on, being able to turn the ball over, move the ball to speed. The Scots were incredible in those areas, and that was the foundation for their game, which we know. Their backline is their strength, moving the ball to width. You saw the likes of Kyle Steyn. He was exceptional again today, arguably the player of the tournament so far. And they're going to pose a real threat to us. Like they'll be looking at how we defended last night and can they test the Irish defence in the wide channels. And we are showing some vulnerabilities there. The Scottish scrum was strong today. Our scrum has struggled throughout the competition. So it is going to be a fierce contest, but it is a home game for us. I'd still be confident that we can win.
So you asked, Joe, does it not feel different this year? Because if Scotland had beat Italy in the first round, you know, that demonstrated what the position they will be in. The fact that they got beat by Italy demonstrates why it's not different, because this is the Scotland that we've known for so long. They have those highs, their ceiling is so high, but there's a lack of consistency with them, even after...
They've just won 3 in a row.
Listen, this is the most compelling version of Scotland. That was, as Karen said, that's probably the best Scottish performance we've ever seen. But how often do we see them get to that height or close to that height and then back it up the week after? We saw them against England, and then we think they dropped off a little bit against Wales. Granted, there's context there around Wales.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a financial ad, but past performance is not always a guarantee of future performance. I mean, something may click here, you know?
I think if you're looking at the hard light today, you'd have to say that this does feel a little bit different, OK? But if they came to Dublin next week and produced a shocking performance, they didn't fire a shot, we'd still be sitting here saying, same old Scotland.
I think we've said exactly that in the past. It feels different this year with Scotland because they have done something.
No, but this does feel different.
Exactly. They have done something similar in the past. I don't think they've done it to this extent.
Okay.
But if you beat them 11 years in a row, it feels like if there's anything in the balance, that goes our way. There's a mental hang-up there. There's a hex, and we have the beating of them.
Sure.
That does, again, the financial thing. Yes, it does feel like a real live threat, but it has felt like that in the past, and that's brought the best out of the Irish team.
It's a great test of Ireland, though, isn't it, in the final Saturday? Like, so much of this championship and maybe so much of the last 18 months has been where's the team, and you've the low at Paris, and Italy is harder to judge, and then Twickenham, it explodes. Last night's, you know, it's mixed. Now you've got a really good buoyant Scottish team coming to Dublin. We're going to really find out some things.
If they do come to Dublin like that.
Are you really that unsure that they'll...
Yeah, I am a bit.
You think they could easily come and be rotten in Dublin?
Yeah, because they've done it so many times before. And, you know, we have definitely flip-flopped on the Irish performances over the last number of rounds. But if Scotland come to Dublin with that level of performance next week, we'll get a real good taste.
Because I would say in the Scottish media now, where I'm sure it's all, you know, Gregor's the toast of the town, I would say there will be people arguing, looking at this championship, saying, well, actually you would feel more certain that Scotland will play to a certain level than perhaps Ireland. Like we're inconsistent at the moment, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And even the question you're asking about, where is this Irish side at? You never actually get that answer. Because you always think next week we're going to find out, or we'll get more context or nuance to what that team was like. But every week we've gone, OK, and then now we're thinking, right, Scotland are absolutely buzzing at the minute. If they turn up that level of performance, that's the acid test. But to Carnes' point, I'm not sure we'll get that consistency. It's strange that Scotland don't have that consistency, because it doesn't require a big emotional, let's dig deep and get, you know, that rousing physical performance. It's actually just ambition and throwing the ball around. It's just pure excellence in terms of X factor and beating guys and offloads. It's beautiful to watch, but it's surprising that it takes such an emotional toll on them often.
Yeah, OK.